Okay, so it says if n is 11 and x bar is 35, our standard deviation is 8, find the margin of error at 80% confidence. Give your answer to 2 decimal places. All right, so we know our formula for the confidence interval is x bar plus or minus t of alpha over 2 times s over the square root of n. So there's the whole formula. We only want this portion of it. So we need the appropriate t-score. So I'm going to look that up on the chart. We know we've got degrees of freedom of 10, right? So n equals 11, so degrees of freedom is 10. And we've got a C level, always like saying C level, confidence level of 80%. Okay, so let's look it up on the chart. So we go to 80% confidence, and our degrees of freedom is 10. So we go up to 10 degrees of freedom, and I end up with a t-score of 1.372. So my t for alpha over 2, so remember our alpha level is 20%, so 20% divided by 2 is 10%. So our t-score for 10% is equal to, and I've already forgotten the number, so that was 1.372. Now remember, you can find that same number on the calculator. If you have one of the nicer calculators, or one of the newer ones anyway, you can go distribution, inverse t, enter in the appropriate area. So remember, it's 80% confidence level, so we need 90% for the area under the curve. Degrees of freedom, it doesn't want the sample size there, it wants the degrees of freedom. So the degrees of freedom was 10, and we get 1.372, same thing we got off of the chart. So let's just fill in the blanks in the formula. So I know I have our margin of error is equal to 1.372, there's our t-score, times s, which was 8, over the square root of the sample size, so over the square root of 11. And then we just crunch that out. So we're going to go 1.372 times 8 divided by the square root of 11, and we get 3.309. So our margin of error is 3.309. So now remember, you could get your calculator to do this also if we just went to distribution. We're going to go to stat, test, and actually construct out the confidence level that we want here. So we're doing a t interval, and then we could just enter in everything we know, right? We know x bar is 35, standard deviation is 8, sample size is 11, the C level is 80%, and then we can come down here and calculate it, and we get this is our entire confidence interval. So we could now at this point just subtract those two numbers to get the difference, and that'll give us the width of the interval, and then divide that by 2, and that'll give us the margin of error as well. So I know that the whole confidence interval itself is 31.69 up to 38.31. So I can take 38.31 and subtract out 31.69. So the width of the interval is 6.62, and then we'll just cut that in half, and I get 3.31. Notice 3.309, this is approximately 3.31, and this is also, if I divide that interval in half, is also that same 3.31.